are very honored to be joined by such a special guest. I think that's how you would describe it, Mel, right?
No. Basically, I was under pressure to book a guest, and I thought, what other person could I wish more for than the current US Women's Open caddy champion? Well done, Jeff.
Brighton, everybody.
Can you believe it? Mel,
No,
Kira.
as someone as useless as you, I actually cannot believe that you managed to pull that off, mate.
We're off to a friendly start, as I thought. Thanks, Mel.
So good. We're so happy to have you, Jeff. Just a warm welcome.
Thank you. But what has happened to this podcast? I mean, the guest you started off with, Michelle Wee, and all the glamour. And now you said it, maybe episode 200, Mel, you said. But what episode's this?
Yeah, we're not at 200 yet, mate. So the problem is, Jeff, is that Kira has been basically busting herself to do all actually be professional in this. And I thought, I've got to really step up to the plate here. I thought, right, who's definitely going to say yes? And it's you.
Oh, I see. Absolutely. Spend a bit of time with Mel and
this
Kira.
Is what happens when you win a major or caddy for somebody who's winning a major.
Well, I was thinking, let's be honest, if Miss Maja Stark hadn't won the US Open, would I even be talking to you guys?
No.
Thought so.
No.
Maybe episode later, but not episode 20.
But
we're always going to have you on the show.
Here I am.
Da-da-da-da. There he is.
God.
Congratulations, Jeff.
Hey.
We are very happy for you. You deserve all the love, even from Mel.
I know, it's difficult for me to say it, but yes, I was very happy for you, Jeff. Very happy for you.
Thank you. I've got a big smile on my face. It was pretty cool to watch and just be part of, It's such a buzz. Such a buzz.
So for those that don't know, Jeff was on the bag for Maja Stark when she won the U.S. Women's Open at Erin Hills. You've also been just a long-time caddy on the bag for Colin Montgomery. You're a past comedian, maybe still kind of a comedian. It's helping you in your
he's
world.
A massively failed comedian.
Okay,
Aren't we all?
Thank you, Mel. Still tight.
And now you're on our show, so you've really made it to the big league.
This is big for me. I'm very, very excited. I love listening to you guys. It's usually like two friends having just a catch up, and you have some cool guests on, and I enjoy listening to it. So it's really cool that you asked me to be on. Hopefully, I can go an hour, Mel, without annoying you, which I've never managed to do before.
No, you've never managed to do that, mate.
It's too late. We were already in the annoyed territory before we even got on the show.
Jeff is about as useful as a chocolate teapot in anything that he ever does. I've stayed with him way too many times. In fact, Jeff, I remember the last time I stayed with you was in Phoenix in my final year of playing. And to be fair, you were absolutely fantastic with Kai. I will give you that. You were serenading him every night because you're the entertainer. But we asked Jeff probably on the Wednesday to go and get toilet paper. And in fact, we've still not received it, Jeff.
I don't remember that. Where did I go?
Yes, you do.
So what did I do? I went to the pub or something?
It was in Phoenix. No, you definitely weren't there because you have 2 gin and tonics and you're out of it.
I'm sorry I haven't got. Have you got toilet paper since, Mel? Because that was over a year ago. Have you?
Yes, I did. But thank you for being a great addition to the house that week, Jeff, by being pretty useless. So I really appreciate you, mate. It's always fun staying with you.
We had fun. Yeah, we had fun. I'm with a few caddies this week for the KPMG. It's fun. As the Airbnbs are more fun than the hotels, right?
100%.
How did you guys meet? How long have you guys known each other?
I forced myself into Mel's company. Like, she just would not.
Same.
Yeah, and it's just, Mel, can I have your number? Can I hang out with you? No, piss off, go away, leave me alone. Mel, can we be friends? Can we be friends? Leave me alone. And then when I was out in groups with you, caddying, I'd just be like trying to caddy, and you just look at me like the biggest loser ever. And I'm like, God, I must win Mel's approval. And then I don't know. I think it was actually when I came out, you went, okay,
yeah,
now you're gay now. I suppose I have to start liking you. And
you're gay now. We have to be friends.
Yeah,
so. We can be friends now. Now we have a common ground.
Yeah.
How did you come out, Jeff?
Oh, slowly. Difficult. Yeah. Well, actually, I mean, I just told people. It was
great.
I did a tour. I went around the country. I'm lucky doing the traveling in different careers. I've got good friends dotted around, and I went on like this coming out tour, telling everyone, like spending money, going to like sort of Newcastle or London or wherever, and tell my friends, oh, I'm gay, and they're like, all right. Okay, not bothered, fine. I'm like, well, I've just flown out here to tell you. Nobody cared. And then I was like, Mel did set me up with that scratch video. We did the video and then just did that on a wee bit, of a public scale within work. And then that was it. And then you know.
And in all seriousness, Jeff, like I am really proud of you for doing that because, you know, you're a caddy, you're in very kind of a male dominant world. You're obviously very popular out on tour with the ladies, which now makes sense. But like, I can imagine it could have been quite difficult for you, but you're very lucky that you've got some really, you know, good mates like Ollie and all the boys that literally don't care, mate, because we just love you for who you are. And it's not an easy thing to do. And honestly, like from the bottom of my heart, like we were really proud of you. It was a cool thing for you to do.
Thank you. And, you know, it feels, I mean, it was like 5 or 6 years ago, but scary, right? But then it didn't have to be. And then it became the easiest, most normal thing in the world. And you're just met with love and indifference from everyone around you. And it's pretty life-changing, life-affirming that nothing really changes. You know, the relationships are still the same. You're still the same person. You know, I'm still a caddy, can still read a straight putt. You know, it's still like, it's all, it's good. You know, so.
See what you did there.
Failed comedian.
See,
I laughed. I don't know.
Mel, thank you. Thanks to you. It was people like you and other golfers on tour that just really are like authentically themselves, and that, you know, being around that just gave me motivation and a bit of courage to like, okay, I can be that as well. So you were a big part in, because it wasn't a light bulb moment, but sometimes it just takes people a bit more time to be themselves. But you know, you just, everyone in their own time, in their own way, and you know, you get there. So yeah, life's been good since, and yeah, I'm just loving being back on the LPGA and getting to see you a bit more, Mel, and just just really lucky.
So you're back on the LPGA now. You were a longtime caddy for Colin Montgomery, Monty, as people will know him.
The legend.
When we went out to dinner in London, you told this really funny story about Ollie messing up when you found out that you were going to get to caddy for Monty.
Yeah, he's one of my very good friends now, but Colin was my sporting hero, so I was like a dream to caddy for him. And I think the boys had did a wind up, and then when I did get the opportunity to work with Colin, he texted and said, "Can we have a conversation?" And I think I text back, "Piss off, Ollie, I'm not falling for this again." And he's like, "Excuse me?"
This is Ollie Brett. He's a caddy on the LPGA Tour, or now the tour, PGA Tour. He's a caddy.
LPGA.
I thought it was the boys winding me up. I deleted the text, and then it was Colin on the phone, and I nearly dropped it because I was like, "Oh God, it's Colin!" And then the interview that I had with him was quite funny because you know, I went down to his club in London, and we're going to have like kind of just coffee and a bit of practice to see if I get the job. And then he said, "Oh, have you had breakfast yet?" And I said, "No." He says, "Oh, let's have breakfast." Anyway, he was the president of this club, so the full English breakfast is called the full Monty, right? So he says, "I'll have the full Monty. Jeff, will you have the full Monty as well?" Now, what would you say in that situation, Mel? Job interview, what would you say?
Well, you just say yes, Jeff. You don't need to look more into it. I obviously know what a full Monty is, but like you just say yes.
No,
you
full
would love
English.
A full Monty.
No, you would just say yes. Have it. That I said yes in my head, but what came out was, "I'll have the avocado and toast, please."
Oh yeah.
And he said, "What?" I said, "Avocado and toast." And even the waiter just looked at me and went, "Oh gosh, shock." And I was like, and then I was like, "Oh God." And I was like, "Oh, sorry." And I said, "Colin, I don't know if I've got the gig or the job, but if I have, there's the first bad club. I don't know why that came out." And he's like, "Yeah, that's a shocker." And then like we got the job with him and did a few years, and just brilliant man. And you know, I would go back to that golf club and we'd hang out, you know, play, practice, have breakfast, and he would say, "Right, we'll meet for breakfast. No avocados."
Well, he was your idol, really, because you obviously do it. Jeff's very talented in a sense that not on many things, but he's very talented at doing impressions of people, and he does an unbelievable impression of Colin Montgomery. He was a bit of your idol growing up, wasn't he? You being Scottish, him being Scottish.
Yeah, God, he was a man, and Europe's #1 player 8 times, and so a big part of the reason I got into golf. So for my first golfing memory, 9 years old, switching on the Ryder Cup in Valderrama when he got the winning point. Seve was the captain, and like just seeing everyone run onto the green, and I just was hooked in golf ever since. And then yeah, and he, like all the Ryder Cups he was, you know, he performed in. So that. Yeah, and so yeah, and to think that I got to work with him and spend all that time together, and he's just learned so much, and yeah, he's brilliant. And that Champions Tour is great because you've got all the legends of the day still competing and still doing it exactly the same way when they did when they were like winning majors and you know all that. So brilliant.
All right, let's talk about how you got into caddying, Jeff, because it might be the luckiest card you've ever got. Was when you caddied at Turnberry.
Was it lucky?
Caddied for that. Yes. Obviously, it was lucky.
Very lucky.
Not quite as
wasn't
lucky as you winning the US Women's Open, but it was
lucky.
it was second.
No, that was all skill.
That was all Maja, darling. That was all Maja. I mean, how good was she?
Jeff, stop getting distracted. Just caddying first, mate.
Okay.
At Turnberry, at the Women's British Open.
I can. This used to be an 8-hour story. I've got it down to 30 seconds. Had a corporate job in Ireland. Going all right. Oh, this is what I want to do. I don't know. Always wanted to caddy. The Women's Open's coming to Turnberry 2015. I was brought up there. Incredible course, one of the best. Should be back on the Open rota, hopefully, in time. Anyway, I blagged a gig as a local caddy. Just sent a few emails because I did know the course. I get Jin Young Ko. How lucky.
Wow.
Who was maybe 19 at the time, had never been over to the UK. Did one practice round with her. I think she shot 7 under. Thinking, oh, all right, okay. And then, the whole way she was leading, was up by a couple coming over the last few holes, NB Park. I made a couple of birdies, won the Grand Slam, and my first week on as a caddy, I get second, and just get a taste of what I want to do, and then went back to my corporate job and thought, well, this is shit. I can't do this. I want to be a caddy. So, and then. From that, Caroline Headwall, who we were playing with the first 2 days at Turnberry, said, "Do you want to come out and be on tour?" Leave the corporate job, and I've been annoying Mel and everyone else ever since.
Love that. That was a really good departure from 8 hours.
Yeah, I know. I've cut that.
Good job.
Cut that down. But to be a professional caddy, what is a professional caddy? You work for a professional golfer, right? But to be one, you either know someone or get very lucky. So I didn't know anyone. I got lucky. I did send a few emails. I did know Turnberry, and I got a lucky break with Jin Young. And then you try and make your way from there. But I did get very, very lucky.
Because didn't you used to work before all this, didn't you? And before your corporate job, you used to work in an 1830s, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what?
18 to 30. So you know them cheap holidays that people go to Magaluf to get syphilis? That's what Jeff did.
Sorry, which part of that did you work at? The resort?
I was not the syphilis provider. But yeah,
now he
part. Oh, stop it! Now I don't know if it's a thing in America, but people in Britain like to go to all these holiday destinations all over, like the Greek islands, Spain, Ibiza, Magaluf, and just party. So I was like a rep. I was like a party rep, taking them on boat trips and booze cruises and DJ nights and stuff like that. But
wow.
I still wore pajamas to bed. I wasn't cool enough to do that. I just rather a cup of tea, and all these lads are like, yeah, I'm not going to the club with you. So I did that, and then they said, well, we're not firing you, Jeff, but we actually think you'd be more suited to the grannies and grandmas in the Thompson Gold Hotel. And I remember being raging. And then I got there after the first day in the north of Ireland out in the sticks and met all the grannies, and I was like, oh my God, they're absolutely right. I had a great time. So
these are my people.
Yeah. But I did that for 5 years, and then I was working on cruise ships, trying to entertain, but then they would just stick me in a hippo's costume and make me do the YMCA for a load of people that just didn't even understand me. I hated that job.
You have got some good stories. You have got some good stories, mate. I must admit, you have made me chuckle a few times.
I cannot believe I've told that. Oh.
So was your dream to be a comedian too? Or what ended up happening with that?
Well, it was, and then I did it for a wee bit and realised, God, I'm not funny. People just genuinely weren't laughing. I thought the microphone wasn't on, but they weren't laughing. And then I did okay, but I was really fat as well, and just shy and awkward.
You were fat?
Yeah, he was massive. When I first met him, he was massive.
And my weight's up and down.
And do you know what's funny, Kira? Hang on, Jeff.
Guy.
Well, the problem is though, Kira, he still wears the same size clothing now, and he's actually lost 100 pounds, so he looks ridiculous.
Yeah, but Mel, it's genetics.
Oh yeah, he goes, Mel. He comes up to me on tour once, and he goes, look, can you help me? I'm fat and I want to lose some weight. And I said, right. I said, well, you know what you should do? I said, you should probably go to the gym, probably not drink as much ale, and maybe watch what you eat. No, it doesn't work for me. It's genetics, innit? And I went, well, it's fucking not. As he's eating 2 packs of Haribo every night and 7 gin and tonics.
It's Haribo. That's my vice. Sweets Haribo is my vice. It's not ale. I'm not.
I love some Haribo.
Ale. I'm not a 1920s farmer. I drink gin and tonic, darling. Or a wee vodka.
Yeah, he's fabulous.
Yeah. But we had a fabulous dinner in London, Kira. I really enjoyed that. of course, the last, ended you with in a bowl of lentil dal, face down in a bowl of lentil dal. As you
Oh, Kira told this the other week.
Oh, really?
Wait, I would love to hear it from your perspective, though.
You and your husband were such good company. That restaurant was so nice. I love going out for dinner with Marina. You always eat well. You get a 3-course meal for just under $4,000. It's great. Costs you a fortune.
This is Marina Alex,
Yeah.
who just retired from the LPGA.
Oh, she can eat.
And we went to Gymkhana, which is a very fancy spot in Mayfair.
And it was lovely. And it was like, and all the food coming around. But it was very dark, so I get it. And then you had went to the bathroom. We're coming back. There was some poorly lit steps. And you fell down. And then everyone waits for how you're going to handle it. And the way you just got up, the sass and the grace, and just looked around the room and went, yeah, everybody, I'm still hot. And then just sat down. And I just thought, she is the coolest person. Oh, we had a great night.
Mate, that's you pageant days, that is. It comes through, doesn't it? Eh?
I think I even did like a hand. It's like, I'm okay. I'm fine. Carry on.
It was so cool that we just got up and then just got back eating your paneer. Oh, it was lovely. Lovely dinner.
Like limping away.
Yeah.
I had a huge bruise on my leg
really?
for a long time. Yeah, for a long time.
Oh, dear.
I was like, oh my God, this guy just met me. Probably thinks I'm drunk or whatever. I had been having lots of cocktails before dinner. I'd only had one cocktail.
Oh, proud of you, Kira.
The steps in London. You gotta watch that.
Can we talk about KPMG this week? Obviously, this is going to come out after KPMG. What's your thoughts on the course, first of all? You played an 18-hole pro-am, didn't you? So what's your thoughts on the golf course here in Frisco?
I like it. I did the senior PGA here with Colin 2 years ago, shortly after it just opened. And I think we came for a practice day as well. So it's a big golf course, vast, and a lot to it. So kind of like an Erin Hills feel in that regard. But yeah, and a lot of people, you walk it and you think, oh, there's not much to it. Then a day like today, Tuesday, the pro-am day, windy, and like the course has some teeth. Again, like the last 2 majors, it's suiting the longer hitters, So if the driver's probably the most important club this week, if you're driving it long and straight, someone like Nelly, again, it's Maja's got some length. She drove it really well at Erin Hills. That's gonna set you up. But then if you start missing the fairways, you cannot control the rough. And then around the greens, really, really grainy. And then just with the wind. So there's more to it than people think.
Oh, dearie me.
Look at my hat here. Oh God, I'm all self-cut. Because this is a hot podcast and I'm a sweaty mess.
Yeah, we're a really big deal.
Sweaty mess from pro-am. Do you ever, I don't know, do you ever look at golfers, when they finish their round in the PGA Tour, right? And they take off their hat and then they just do that. And they've got perfect
it's so gross.
hair. No, but some of them have perfect hair. And it's like, I just
who's got perfect hair when he does that is Victor Hovland.
Yes.
He does.
Yes.
He has great hair when he takes off his hat.
Who else? Dietrich, he doesn't wear a hat, though.
John Rahm has pretty good hair.
Yeah.
He always gives it a little rustle. But the thing about that whole thing is they run their hand through their sweaty hair and then they shake hands with everybody. It's disgusting. I hate that.
That is a bit gross. That is a bit gross.
How do you feel, Mel, about the kind of sweaty hugs on the LPGA that we do? This sort of.
No, I'm a handshaker. You know that. I always put my hand out like that.
There you are.
You guys do a little, the butt out hug.
Yeah, I don't
That's a
like
thing
it.
on the LPGA.
Yeah, it's like a little tap tap. Tap tap. I call it the tap tap.
I made a mistake once, first time playing with Laura Davis, the demo. I was, so excited, finished it because you usually hug everyone and tried to hug, and that was you only do that once.
Yeah.
So
Laura doesn't like hugs.
She wasn't up for.
She's not a hugger, mate. Laura does not like hugs.
All right, noted. Sounds good. How's life been since winning the U.S. Open?
Great. I can't stop smiling. And then it's cool. And Maja's been brilliant, as well. I'm probably gonna have to shut up and stop talking about it and get on because we'll try and do well in the KPMG this week. But it's like,
no, why not?
It's so funny because we were talking about her today. I'm sure we're going to talk about her all week, and she basically said in a press conference today, yeah, to be honest, it probably hasn't sunk in yet, but hey, it's a new week. I'm ready to go. I'm not going to treat myself. I don't need anything. It was a cool achievement, but I'm ready to go this week. I feel like you're the opposite, Jeff. I feel like you're oh my God, I can't believe I just won the US Women's Open. As you should. I'm not like, you're reacting in a more natural way, but she's like, no, like, back to business. Here we go.
She has to like trick herself into getting back to business because she still has to play. And she also, now that she's a major champion, she wants to play like a major champion.
Yeah.
Sure. She's handling it. She's been great, you know, and I'm sure was in cloud nine and still kind of is, but you know, move on and try and achieve more. At the same time, it's a balance, isn't it? Because you don't want to get too high. But then at the same time, you've got to celebrate these things. You know, Maja did absolutely celebrate. I probably celebrated enough for both of us. But again, it's just
someone's got to.
But you know, but never have you heard a golfer, or have I heard a golfer say, "Oh, I wish I didn't enjoy it as much." You know, when you get moments like that, you know, quite often they say, "I wish I enjoyed it more." So you've got to find out about maybe one golfer. And that would be Mel Reid. Mel Reid knew how
probably could have dialed it back.
Yeah, she knew.
Probably, Kira.
You are the one golfer
Probably.
that, you know, that maybe enjoyed themselves too much after a win. But again, you know how hard it is, and it's like as caddies, where you know we get these moments, and it's like they're few and far between, and so I But I mean, I tell you what it does for me. I mean, I like to think I work hard, but it's, you know, now there's expectation. I just want to keep going, and it's really makes me hungry as well and motivated. But I had a week off last week, and I went to Oakmont and just, you know, tried to watch the guys' US Open. But I mean, talk about busy. You couldn't see shit. 5 rows deep. I'm like, I caddied for the US. No, couldn't get through. I was nothing. But then
no one cares.
No one cares.
No one cares.
Show business, baby.
Yeah. No, I'll tell you the best thing about caddying, right? I was saying to Maja today, she had a couple of nice shots in the Pro-Am. It's like you get a front row seat to watch good golf. Best thing in the world.
And if you love golf.
Oh, yeah. It's like, so being like 5 deep outside the ropes trying to watch the featured group, it's but Oakmont, and I was just, even though I was outside the ropes not playing, I thought this place looks hard. I was exhausted just watching it.
What days were you there?
Thursday, Friday.
Okay. And who did you try to follow?
I tried to follow Rory, Ludwig, but forget it. Busy, those feature groups, no chance. And then I ended up, I went and saw Laura in the Sky Studio. She got in and she's great at the comms, so watched her do her thing, and then was in the caddy tent and a couple. So I watched Nicholas Norgard. But yeah,
because Ollie was caddying for him, right?
Yeah. It couldn't have played it couldn't have played easier in the sense that there was no wind and it was soft and it still looked impossible.
Yeah.
But
that was the narrative, wasn't
it? So hopefully, you know, I'll be there when the LPGAs are there in 27. Yeah, it's cool.
Fun.
Yeah, exciting. Yeah. And the venues, you know, part of the lure, I mean, apart from the LPGA being a great tour, we're like a big family, the venues and the destinations that we go to for the majors are just like, they're so appealing.
They're getting better and better.
Yeah, I feel like in the last 5, 6, 7, maybe 10 years, like we're now going to the iconic venues, and obviously the men have been around a lot longer than us, like playing professional golf. And so to go to their venues and see and say like how Tiger played it, or, you know, like, oh, that was where Ben Hogan did this. Like, you know, we still know the history of stuff. And so I think that's why it's so cool that we're starting to go to these unbelievable, historic, iconic venues now, is that we can get those memories as well. And hopefully in 20 years, you know, you look back and go, oh, I remember when Maja Stark, like, hold that putt on so-and-so and so-and-so. It's going to be iconic, Jeff.
Making history.
Making history. You know, that the women's US Open trophy, gorgeous thing. And then you look at and then, you know, Maya's got it in her place now in Nashville, and it's like, just look at the names on there. And then it's pretty cool to think that, you know, her name is there forever. It's just, I don't know. Yeah, I got a wee bit emotional, like sort of the week after. I was like just talking to Maja and just thanking her, like, just for being so awesome. And then she said, "Are you crying on the phone, Jeff?" to me, and I went, "A wee bit, but don't tell anyone." But she's such a pro, man, and just handles it like, yeah. So
you got a trophy too, right? You got the plate. Or a plate.
Yeah, I got.
Where did you put it? Where's that thing going?
The USGA, unbelievable. They took that, a lovely like silver plate in a sexy USGA box with my bib and the cheese hat that I stole from Mike Wan. They put that in a box and it was shipped to my place in Scotland, my home in Scotland, within 3 days. So it's already back home.
That's really good.
Yeah,
that's really good to know.
Unbelievable. And then a load of merch. And I'll just be wearing Erin Hills stuff for the rest of my life, right?
Obviously.
And,
an extra large.
Erin Hills lifer.
Yeah, extra large.
XXL.
Great golf course. So I'll be... and then so that's cool, but really I've got my flag in my wee suitcase over there, and that's because that's the caddy trophy. That's like, it's nice that they honor the caddies in that way, because no other tournament does that, but caddies want the flags. That's our trophy.
And you're going to travel with that, so that people you can be like, oh, do you want to see the flag?
No,
I have it right here.
I'm not that sad, Anna Mel.
Take it to Pride, Jeff.
It's a good conversation starter.
They're not interested in golf.
You're a caddy?
They're not. They're like, what's that? No, they're not interested.
No.
They're like, golf.
No, I feel like people are so intrigued by people that work in golf or have such a unique job
perspective into it as well. Yeah, like because, involved in it. Yeah.
I live in San Francisco, and I'll never forget, I went to a dinner party with my husband, and the person that was seated next to me said, "So what startup do you work for?" And I was like, "Oh, actually, I work in broadcast. I'm a sports broadcaster in golf." And they're like, "Oh, fascinating." And like the whole night, they just want to talk to you about what you do and where you're traveling and how did you get into that. And that's so crazy. People, for the most part, live these not mundane, but pretty normal 9 to 5, blah, blah, blah. So when they hear about something that you do like that, Jeff, it's so unique and interesting.
People don't understand our job. If you're not in the golf world, they have no idea the amount of careers and offshoots within golf and a caddy, and they don't get what we do. So it's...
And like we spoke about this, Jeff, haven't we? We've had many, many conversations. But we would talk about like how you're ready to meet someone, how you're ready to settle down, but it's so difficult. I'm fortunate, Kira's fortunate that we've got unbelievable partners who get it. And it's really hard to meet someone though, isn't it? Like you're constantly away, like you're having to go by what Maja or whoever you're working for. If they want to all of a sudden play a tournament, you have to go to that tournament. And it's difficult to meet someone, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, it's such a unrelatable lifestyle, isn't it? So I think, anyone that's with someone, in the golf world, and they're not, it takes a really special person to be understanding, because it's very fleeting. But I mean, you do get to meet amazing people. I mean, it's like wherever I go, I'm always a new guy, right? But then you do, the tournaments and the pro-ams and stuff. You just meet all these incredible people that I wouldn't get to meet if I had a normal job, right? So it's hard to maybe meet someone in that way, but it's just, I wouldn't swap this for the world. Because you get to make all these incredible connections. Do I have time to tell you the weirdest thing that happened to me just before Erin Hills? Remember Erin Hills in the US Open?
We have so much time.
Remember Erin Hills? Maja won the US Open. I was caddying for her. There.
That's right.
Yeah. We spoke about it yet. So this, I don't know if you think this is a story, but it's a wee bit nuts. So I've got a lot of friends in Wisconsin. One of my favorite places, from the Green Bay days. So we go to Erin Hills, and I've got I go and visit them early. I want to see about the course. So I go on the Friday before the tournament, land there, and they say, hey, we'll go to a bar. It's karaoke night. It's right up my street. So
that's right up your street, mate.
Oh, yes. So karaoke night. I've just flown all day, so I'm a wee bit kind of jet lag, tired / 2 drinks. I'm kind of tipsy. And we go, we drive 20 minutes to the Pleasant Valley pub. And it was just like a bike shed in the middle of nowhere. I says, that's where the karaoke is. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, it looked like the scene from a Netflix murder documentary. It was just in the middle of nowhere. But sure enough, we go into this bike shed, and there's just about 40 people, all the grannies and granddads, all giving it big licks in the karaoke.
You love the grannies.
Oh, I thought, right, okay, here we go. Let's go. I go to the bar, get the people I was with drinks. 5 drinks, $18.
Perfect.
Wow.
I'm $18. Perfect. I mean, I'm right. So anyway, an hour later, I'm duetting with an 82-year-old called Barbara. Okay, we're doing Islands in the Stream together.
What is the song?
Islands in the Stream.
Just give us a bit of a rendition, Jeff, just so we know what it is.
But it was no, and then before that, Barbara, she was doing that Foreigner, I Want to Know What Love Is, but she had that shrill, I want to know what love is, I want you to show 82. I thought, I need to sing with Barbara. Anyway, sing with her. I think we did quite well. But then Barbara's flirting with me on the microphone, and then she's like, I'm part Scottish myself. It's like, they all say that. they've never, I'm half. Anyway, so I'm like, oh, great, Barbara. And she went, yeah. And, 40 years ago, I used to be ginger. I says, great, Barbara. And she went, yeah. And not just upstairs. I said, that's plenty, Barbara. That's please, that's enough. Oh my God. Anyway, so this is all going on. And then I'm doing my songs, and I'm just like around the room aggressively singing Meatloaf into this old man's face. And I'm like,
Meatloaf. I used to love Meatloaf.
Oh, I do a couple of Meatloaf numbers. Anyway, there's this old man in the corner. He's got a cowboy hat on that I really wanted to borrow, but apparently it's the thing, you don't take another person's hat.
Oh,
anyway,
I've made that mistake.
It's a thing.
I've made that mistake big time, mate. At a wedding once, big time made that mistake.
But you see it and it looks magnificent. You go, can I have that?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where that comes from, but it's a huge no over here, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
he
forgave me. I'm singing the songs, and then he's about to leave, and he calls me over. This man, he said, "Hey, that was really fun tonight. Enjoyed spending time with you. Just want to give you something while you're here in Wisconsin." I said, "All right, thanks." He says, "It'll bring you good luck while you're here." And I said, so he said, "Why are you here?" I said, "I'm here for a golf tournament." And I better still have this. If I've lost it, I'm going to panic. He says, "Put this in your pocket, and it'll bring you good luck." I says, all right. And he gave me a plastic case, and it was a wee gold coin. And he said, "Put this in your pocket, and I promise you it'll bring you good luck while you're here in Wisconsin."
No way.
I swear. And I don't believe in all that. He said, "Honestly, put it in your pocket." And I had it in my pocket the whole week. And obviously it had nothing to do with Maja winning the US Open. But I swear, if you zoom through...
Or did it?
Well, no. But if you look at her past the camera, she's holding those 4-footers on Sunday, you'll just see me with my hand in my pocket, rubbing my wee gold coin, just like sort of trying to see. And,
Jeff, that's a good story.
And
that's
it's like,
amazing.
And it's like, I'm not superstitious at all, but this old man gave me it, and I'm like, I've literally had it in my pocket ever since. So anyway, I go to Oakmont, and I tell Ollie this story, and then he's like, "Give me that gold coin," before he teed off. And then weren't they leading? They were like 2 under through 6, right, or something like that. They were leading the US Open, and he clocks me at the side of the ropes, and he gets the coin out, and he goes,
That's
anyway,
brilliant.
I can't believe you gave it to him to borrow, and I can't believe you gave it back.
No, I can't believe Ollie gave it back.
First day they shot 6 over, and I went, "Piece of shit, mate, keep it yourself." So yeah, it's but just funny, yeah. And then like Wisconsin people are great. So anyway, for whether it's lucky or not, I'm just going to keep it. And
Very nice, Jeff.
Take us through the week. How much were you thinking, okay, this could actually happen early week or not? What was the confidence like on a Thursday?
Maja loved the course like from Monday. So that's always good. And it suited her eye, and she was playing well right from Monday, just basically. And then in the middle of Tuesday, she's locked in, hitting just unbelievable iron shots. And then, we kind of planned out what we were hoping to do. And then, I think she was 4 under through 9. So posted under par the first day, and just was solid the whole way. So it just felt like it just felt natural. But, and then, she was leading on Saturday, and was just like, and just didn't have to chase on Sunday, did all the right things, and was just so clutch and honestly so impressive. Like to winning an event like that, your first major, it was just all so natural to her. So, but
did you ever have to like chat to her? Did you have to chat to her and be like, calm her down at any point?
Oh, I don't stop talking, do I?
No, that's true.
Well,
actually.
she said all that you were telling her all these stories the whole time, and I want to know what stories they were.
People have asked me that. I can't remember. Maja's, we get into the shots, and there's a lot to think about over the shots, but then, between shots, and there's a long time to wait, just distract them, get their mind off of golf. So it's nothing funny. My jokes are crap anyway. I don't even have jokes, but I've just got long-winded waffle, dribble. I think I was talking about what our favourite biscuit is or something like that. Biscuits, or like, and then, maybe telling her about the karaoke bar and stuff. She likes a laugh. We have a lot of fun. She's great company. And but you know what it's like, Mel. Just get your mind off what you're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever caddy for Mel?
Fuck no. Absolutely
how would that have
no.
gone?
No, Jeff asked, he says, "Oh, if you ever need a caddy," I was actually,
you
that's
asked me
bullshit.
once, exactly, and I turned you down.
Bullshit.
I turned you down.
No, Kira, let me tell you this. Let me tell you the story. So this is last year, okay? And my caddy Greg couldn't caddy for me, so I was potentially getting into the match play. I was like second reserve. My caddy was like, "Hey, I have to go home for like a wedding or something." So I text Jeff. This is how fucking flaky Jeff is, right? So I text Jeff and I said, "Hey, mate, I can't believe I'm even texting you this. Like, I really am scraping the barrel here, but like, I don't care. Like, can you just caddy for me?" And he's like, "Oh God, it was such a pleasure. I've always wanted to caddy for you." Oh, like
that.
So I was like, "Okay, weirdo, like whatever." So
You
I'm like,
make him sound like an 80-year-old witch.
well, he is. So I was like, "Okay, perfect." I said, "I'm second reserve, but the chances are I'm going to get in." He's like, "Oh, yeah, okay, fine."
Yeah,
so the whole week he's like, "Oh, I'm so excited. I think you're going to get in." The fucking like Thursday, he's like, "Oh, I'm going to go home." And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Oh, I think I'm so tired. You know, I've done like 2 weeks in a row. I'm just exhausted. That's why I can't get toilet paper this week. So I'm just absolutely just drained. So I can't caddy for you." And I was like, "Thanks, dickhead." And I actually got in the tournament, so I had to pull out because I couldn't be asked with all the drama.
But you know why I couldn't do
So
it?
it's your fault. I had to retire.
I had a date.
So yeah, that's actually what happened, Kira. That is 100% true.
Anything less than a roast on this coming on here?
You deserve that.
Oh, that could have been Mel. Maybe one day. Hey, Mel. Maybe. How about
No.
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 Give him a chance. Come on.
How about in 2 years' time when you're playing the US Women's Senior Open? Okay. How about I caddy for you? Yeah. That you fancy that? A couple of years time.
That was a great pitch.
Yeah, you do like the grannies, mate. So yeah, you can come work for me anytime.
It's been a theme of it. Yeah.
Mel, would you play in not in 2 years, but in senior
3
events
years?
one day?
Three. It's got to be soon,
Jeff,
though, isn't it?
You know that we're the same age.
No way. 28.
Yes, we are. Yeah, no, I don't know. We'll see. I might play this. I might have a couple of goes. I know.
Mel is still. You know what? Mel's doing great. What she's doing now, Mel, and we're so proud of you. But you're such a talented golfer, and we miss you playing on the LPGA.
Well,
and it would be an honour one day to.
You must be paying for your bar tabs every Friday night, so I used to miss every cut.
Well, maybe I can buy you a drink now.
That'll be nice.
Oh yeah,
Jeff.
he's a major champion.
Finally,
well, it would be nice if he's proper Scottish, mate. Honestly, he's got T-Rex arms. He barely gets his hand in his pocket.
Oh, come on.
I
bought 5 drinks at the Netflix Murder Bar for $18.
Yeah, for $18.
$18, big spender.
Yeah, well done, Jeff.
Yeah,
you got a gold coin and a US Open out of that.
Yeah. So cheapest round of your life, Jeff. Surprise. Oh dear me.
Hey, but that Erin Hills is a good course, though, isn't it? Like, it's a good golf course, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's great, Jeff.
Did you hear about Mel wiping out and falling down?
Oh, did you hear about
that? I heard and saw.
Back at 15.
I heard and saw.
It was awful.
Was it sore?
No. I'm an athlete, Jeff. Doesn't bother me.
You got a sore bum?
No, you do.
I just tee them up for you, Mel, and you just send them down the middle. Easy. Oh, God.
Oh dear!
I've not done a podcast
Honestly,
like this before.
Kira, you need to come out with me, Jeff, and Ollie. It is brutal.
I would love nothing more.
By the end of the night, your ego's down, everything's hurting because you've been slapped around so much. But I tell you something, you do have abs because there's just not a second where we're not laughing. It is just brutal. It is brutal.
You know, Americans could never.
No,
they don't have this much fun. They get too offended.
I know.
It's bleak out there. So what's next for you, Jeff? I know you're at KPMG. What does life look like for the next couple of months? Any other big celebrations planned?
You know what? I'll go home. I haven't been home in a while. I'm from a small town in Scotland, and I never was happy to watch Maja win. So I'll probably have a wee barbecue in the garden, get my mates round and celebrate. And then play some golf. It's actually a busy time, but it's a European swing, which is I love that. So so I can stay at home for the Scottish Open, Royal Porthcawl. Got some good friends there in Wales, and then Evian is a great time. But they don't do the caddy football tournament anymore, Mel, do they?
I know. So do you know they used to do that, Kira?
Where?
So at Evian, years ago, they used to do a caddy football event. So they used to have Zinedine Zidane, who's obviously a very famous French football player, and They basically used to have, at one point, they had like 7 of the 98 World Cup winning team playing, and it was a charity event. So it was them and their mates against the players and caddies. But it was only really me and Laura that played. Yeah. I was, so, can you remember, obviously, one of my old caddies, bless his heart, Big Lee, and he was a manager. And anyway, I'm leading. It was always on a Thursday night. I was leading Evian.
Yeah, why a Thursday night? Why in the middle of a tournament?
I don't know. But it was only me and Laura that played. So we're the idiots that were the only players that played. And obviously me and Laura can't take anything sport related unserious. So Lee was the manager and he's like, look, Reedy, you lead in the event. Like, look, I'll let you play 20 minutes, but that's it. You're not playing the full hour. And I went, if you fucking take me off, don't even think about coming to work tomorrow. And he's like, I fucking shot 82 the next day.
No!
Just your quads are dead. Like your legs are so sore.
I couldn't move.
And
I shot 82.
And Evian, pretty as it is on the side of a hill. Like walking's a nightmare.
Yeah, it's brutal. It's the most brutal walk of all the year is Evian. And I was like, if you take me off, I'm going to fire you. And I shot 82.
Did you at least win the game?
No, we never win the game. It's brutal. It's just carnage.
Kira, you're playing with like the great football soccer players of the day
of Europe.
Yeah. And
like it's incredible.
And they're there, and they're taking it easy. But like I nutmeg Louis Zaha once. It's not a euphemism, but like I genuinely put it through his legs and ran past them. I was so giddy, but like then I can't run very far.
I think running's a bit of a stretch. I've seen you run, Jeff. That's a bit of a stretch. Right?
Yeah, it's more of a heavy pant, isn't it? You know. But anyway,
we know when Jeff's around because we can hear him screaming and he's not even anywhere near the ball and he's like ah! Or we could just hear him breathing so heavily because he's running towards the ball that has already been passed to the other side of the field.
We do this thing where we ask people what their shush of the week is. So it's basically something that you think is annoying or you would want to change. It can be serious or non-serious, something that irks you, gets a bee in your bonnet. Do you have a shush of the week?
Mel Reid. Mel Reid, just general all things Mel Reid, yeah.
Do you know what mine was, Jeff? It was going to be you. So that's the true friendship that we have.
Absolutely.
Oh dear. Oh my God. Honestly, Jeff, you've been an absolute treat.
We have a laugh, don't we? We have a laugh, don't we?
We do. We do.
No, we're so happy for you, Jeff.
I
hope that you spend so much time celebrating. You deserve it. You're amazing. And I love all the pictures and videos of you. Just it's clear how much it meant to you and how much joy you had in that moment getting to be a part of that. So it's so well deserved. And I'm sure Maja feels the same way.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks, I agree, mate. Really proud of you, mate. And Kai gives his love to his auntie Jeff. He misses you.
What a dude. I'll see him soon. And see you guys soon. Thank you.
Yeah, of course,
Thanks,
Jeff. Appreciate you, mate. Love you, mate.
Bye.